Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and segue into the mayor of Colorado though. So the mayor of Colorado was like, listen, we got a homeless problem. If you've been living under a rock, that's the only way you would not know that Colorado has a homeless problem. Pretty much any major city probably has a homeless problem, to be honest with you. So this mayor every week decided to go and be there in Aurora overnight to see how he can make it better. He wanted to understand the experience, kind of like a undercover boss, like that show Undercover Boss, where the bosses, people don't know it's them and they working, moving boxes or whatever it is, and they're like, oh man, might be talking stuff about him, and he like, dang, they feel that way about me. Well, you won't know until you boost to the ground. So he said, I'm gonna do that. So what this says is that it came under fire for having issues in plumbing. So he said he figured he'd go ahead and learn about it and then, find out what's going on there. This is a view of what it looks like. What my assumption too is that those people did not know that's him. Really, something like that only works if they don't know it's you, especially at first. So in this quote, it says, one thing I've learned is how complex everything is and how individualized it is. You can't categorize people into any particular group. You have to see them as individuals, quite frankly, maybe more compassionate. He's seen how it's helped people. And so this is the thing, homelessness, right? Everybody in a homeless shelter is not there for the exact same reason. Don't have the exact same background. And probably 99% of the people who make decisions around funding, around process, around regulations, are people who've never been homeless, never had someone that they care about be homeless, or even like, regardless of homeless, not having basic necessities, even in your home, is important too, because your empathy is different. And so I'm assuming he's someone who did not grow up like that or have to be around that. And so he was like, well, let me go ahead and immerse myself essentially in the culture, right? To almost
be more empathetic.
So as I get something across my table, I'm going to question, why can't we do this? Not why should we do this? Why can't we do this? That's how those kind of thought processes are changed from why should we to why we can't. These are the types of actions that kind of switch people.
This is what I would call like understanding what public service is. So it's good. There's people that are homeless for, like Jim Jones said, a host of reasons. I used to live in the downtown area, and sometimes you get to know people because like they be there, right? Where you might you do your part to pay for the meal for the same cat for a couple months while they doing they stint in the downtown area. You take them to Chipotle or something like that. It's expensive now, but when I was doing it before, it wasn't that bad. But you used to get to know people. They are PhDs. These are ex-doctors. These are people who are extremely intelligent, and then for one reason or another, they just say, you know what, I want to, or they just say, I want to be free. And definition of free is relative when it comes to what I want. Like I don't feel like being on nobody's phone or nobody's time. And to do that, there's some people who be on spiritual journeys and they say, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm going to make sure that the Lord provides, right? And whatever I get, that mean that I'm meant to be on the path that I'm on. There's people who out there doing that right now. Should we say that they living in the wrong way? Obviously, they're alive and they're surviving, right? So that's what I'm getting at when it comes to that, where the mayor is sleeping in a homeless shelter, and this is Aurora, Colorado, right? So he says he slept one night a week in the city's homeless shelter since February. And that's a cot that he's sleeping on in a 600-bed navigation campus, and that's the one that his administration built. So the homelessness and housing push is tied to more than $100 million in local and federal money for the shelter for treatment and supportive housing. So Colorado,
Aurora, Aurora. And just to note, like Aurora, from what I understand, is not a poor place, mind you.
No, it's not. They've had some other issues back in the day too. So this is like they end up being in the spotlight every now and then, and this is for something
that's
I
where that
believe
movie
is
theater
a better
situation
thing.
happened.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But it's in 2023, it found out that over 11,000 people there experience homelessness statewide. So with the Denver metro area being responsible for the majority of it. So a lot of people, they go to the outskirts because that's where some of the resources might be, and it's just less people, probably less crime that goes along with it. And nationally, the US hit about 653,000 unhoused people in 2023. And that's the highest since the government started the detailed counts back in 2007. So this isn't a niche problem. This is a real problem.
Very much real
and so
problem.
How do I get to it from a growth mindset position? Again, my name is Cassius Pace, so this is where I always try to target. I try to target to what can we do or what can we measure, right? And so what we measure here in this case is return on investment from his perspective, and it's PowerPoints only. And you have to go where the money lands and see if it changes anybody's odds. So if you're signing on a 9-figure homelessness plan and you never once slept in the building, you are doing more branding than actual leadership. And so this person here, I commend for actually getting in there and getting their hands dirty to understand the situation, understand where process gaps are, not only being the person in the soup kitchen, but being the person that eats the soup. Is more than commendable.
Yeah, earlier I was showing some of the services that are provided to, like it was like dental care, primary care, child, like pediatric care. So a lot of those, like people think like, oh, why would people go to the shelter or whatever? Even if you live with family, how do you get access to those things? So I think it's really, really good. I'm glad that it sounds like he's going to, if he may have already been prioritizing it, but this is going to be a different type of way to look at it. I'm glad to see that they have resources set up. And I would say that every state probably doesn't even have that extensive of a list, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Colorado for going ahead and being the change that they want to see.
I agree. And this is for us on this stream. Be the change that you want to see. If anything that is leading us to understand during harder times is that, hard times create great circumstances for people who want to step up and lead.